Trident Technical College?
That was 2016, because I had tried to go to school online, and I was working retail, and I worked in food and bev, and I was just stuck. You know, you can't get ahead in those kinds of jobs. Mm-hmm. I paid all my bills, like I was fine, I was independent, you know, but I didn't have a savings account. I couldn't save up for emergencies. If something happened, I was behind again. And I was like, you know what, enough's enough. I need to go back to school, because that's part of why I joined in the first place.
Right.
It's because they'll pay for your college for you. So I enrolled about 2016 with no major in mind at all.
That's fair.
I dabbled a little bit. You know, I was going to be a literature major for a little while, like an English major, because I loved all of my English classes. They were so fun. I enjoyed them. I'm good at it. And then I started taking my science classes. And nursing is for me, for sure. Because I grew up with animals. I've given stitches to a horse before. I've delivered calves. Like, I've helped, like, healed infections. You know, you get
all that stuff.
All the gross stuff. And I can handle it, no problem.
That's usually the defining factor. Can you handle the gross?
Yep. Sure can. Farm girls can.
Got experience.
Yep. Being gross.
So do you think, so you mentioned the transition was really hard for being, I imagine so. But do you think that that your time in the Navy, like, did it help you as a student? Or do you think it hindered?
Definitely. Because for the same reason that my transition was so difficult, this isn't that hard compared to what I've done before. I have a 4.0 GPA because all it takes is putting in the work. And it's hard when you're 18 or 19 or 20 and you've never had to do 90 hours in a week before. But for me, that's fine. For example, I have 2 jobs. I have not had a day off in, 6 weeks. And I'm fine. You know, I get all my homework done, all my papers, all the term papers that are coming up have already been started. My research proposals are done because I take the time to do it because I want my sleep later on, you know. I don't cram for finals. I'm already studying for finals, you know. It also helps that I'm 29. I'm a little older than most of these students, so I understand. I don't want to go out and party. I've done that. I've partied all around the world, man. I've been to Thailand 3 times. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Malaysia. Like, the partying in Aiken, South Carolina does not interest me whatsoever.
I imagine there's nothing here, but just fine.
But all those experiences that I had in the Navy contributed to me being the responsible adult that I am now, getting all this work done, because it's so much easier than being deployed, you know.
You're right. So you mentioned, because now I understand it's the farm life that contributes to the horse farms that you're working at. What's it like working with, horses?
I love horses. I've always loved horses. I was that weird girl that always, wrote papers about horses, and, you know.
I had a horse phase. I thought horses were nice.
Horses are very nice, and I love them to death. I actually do ride horses competitively, too. I'm on our eventing team at the school here. That's part of why I chose USC Aiken. Aiken is horse country.
Yes.
I'm sure you know this. I'm sure you guys know this, too. Aiken is the place to be if you love horses. And the cool thing about growing up on a farm for me is that if I needed another job, I just go look for horse farms that are looking for help. I can do it. I have the experience and the skills and the talent and the knowledge to help any farm. So it's really nice having that backup so that if I ever need some extra cash, I just go help out. One of my 2 jobs is on a horse farm.
Horse farm?
Mm-hmm, yep.
So do you just train horses, or do you just, ride them to keep them, exercise?
Fit? Yeah.
Fit for competition?
I, kind of both. Mm-hmm. You know, the farm that I'm working at now, she's an older lady. She's in her 60s. She's got a lot of horses, so I help her to keep all of them fit. She doesn't have time or energy to ride all of them. Yeah. But in exchange, she lets me use one of her young horses for competition. Mm-hmm. So I'm bringing him up through the levels. He's a little younger. He's an excellent horse. Oh, I couldn't ask for better. He is such a sweetheart. I love him so much. But I'm training him to bring him up through the levels and work on his knowledge and his education. But I'm also exercising her more experienced horses at the same time.
Sounds neat if you love horses, which it sounds like you do. So that sounds like a dream job.
You can't work on a horse farm unless you love horses, because it's hard and it's a pain in the butt, and horses can be stupid and break stuff, and like you have to fix it. They're dirty. If you don't love them, it's not the job for you.
It's not gonna work.
It's possible, but you're gonna hate it.
So you love the whole thing, even I guess cleaning like pastures and things like that.
It's worth it for me. I don't love cleaning up poo, but
I mean, who does that?
it's worth it for me, to have the opportunity to work with these animals.
Yeah. And you enrolled at USCA in 2018, right?
This is my second semester.
Oh wow. How long do you have left, do you think?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yep. I just got accepted into the nursing program, so I start clinicals in the fall, and that's 5 semesters.
5 semesters. Oh, so you're at like first level, or however that goes?
Yeah, right now I'm at 3rd level,
Okay.
and 4th level is kind of the first level. It's weird.
Yeah, because you get the clinicals and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
My roommate's a nursing major, so she's
Yeah.
always saying that's a...
Because you're supposed, ideally, if I were to start as a freshman, you would do 3 semesters and then start clinicals. So that's why it's level 4. But no one ends up, that doesn't work out for almost anybody,
No.
because it's hard. And I transferred in, so I already had 2 years done when I got here.
So, so you said you loved it. So was there any specific challenges that you were having so far? Maybe it's not, because you didn't start clinical
With
yet.
college?
With the nursing major.
Oh,
Nursing,
not yet,
Not
but
yet.
I haven't really started yet.
That's
So
true.
we'll see how that goes. I'll get back to you.
And do you think that USCA is a good place to be a student veteran?
I do, actually. Our VMSSC, the Veteran Center, is amazing. There's always people there obviously during the business hours. There's always someone there you can go chat with. They have counselors for anyone that's struggling, because that transition is really tough. And being an older student can be kind of tough. Being a student with a family can be kind of tough. There's the support group of other veterans. Anyone that's a veteran knows that there's just a special bond, even if you've never met before, between veterans. Misery loves company. So we all kind of get together and complain about being in the military.
Like camaraderie.
It really is. There's a huge sense of camaraderie. You know, you're in this club with all these other people, and they all get together. There's always coffee in there and snacks, and they're super sweet people, and we like joke around with each other. It's a good place to get some work done. They have computers and printers and stuff for us. They're very supportive of everything that you want to do in your life. And the SVO is the Student Veterans Organization, and they do a ton for like fundraising, to help out the veterans with scholarships and stuff like that. They do career development. So they had a career fair recently. They do like resume workshops and how to perform an interview and things like that to help people with their careers after they get out of college. So the SVO does a lot of that, not just for the veterans, but they sponsor it for everyone to help that transition be a little bit easier.
And has that, well, so then I guess since you already went through the transition with Trident, did that help you, or were you already like settled by the time you started USCA?
I was kind of settled by the time I got here, but I was moving to a new city, and I was out on my own. Like, I had no one here. I lived in a dorm with a bunch of 18-year-olds who are very sweet people, and I love them to death, but you can't relate.
Yeah,
you know?
that life experience,
So
you know.
being able to go to the VMSSC and like chat with people who are my age and know what I've been through, it really helps that transition to USC Aiken.
And lastly, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully making lots and lots of money nursing here, somewhere in like Augusta or around here. I do want to stay in Aiken. Horses, yep. How'd you know? And just pretty much doing what I'm doing now, but not having to go to class every day. Maybe with a kid or something, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
That's
yeah.
that's a future me problem.
It's not a current me problem.
Mm-mm.
Is there anything you like to add before we end things off here?
I think I'm good.
All right. Thank you for your time, Katie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes.